Welcome to The Fight with Teddy Atlas, presented by Dynamic Striking. I'm Ken Rideout, joined as always by the voice of combat sports, the legend Teddy Atlas. We're coming to you today live from the Trinity Boxing Club in Lower Manhattan, the revamped Trinity Boxing Club. And before we get into the Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia fight plan, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors at MyBookie. Check them out at mybookie.ag. Use the promo code ATLAS for a 50% credit on your first deposit. MyBookie.ag, promo code ATLAS. Teddy, what do you think of the new Trinity Boxing Club?
It's great. It's beautiful. I like it. And as far as this fight coming up, it makes me want to sing. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, you just might find you get what you need. Not exactly Mick, but I know how the fans are feeling. When they didn't get Crawford and Spence, and so many of the fights, they're not getting Fury and Usyk right now, you get what you need. And this is what the fight fans need right now. It couldn't come at a better time, where so many are falling out, but this one got made. And what else do they need? There's never been a fight where it's more necessary to get the right geography in the ring than this fight. Tank Davis needs to get in close, and of course, Ryan Garcia needs to have space to control the outside. Who's gonna get what they need? I know what we need. We need to get into that ring and find out. You ready, brother?
Let's do this.
Let's go.
All right, Teddy. The whole world is dying to know, what does Ryan Garcia need to do to beat Tank Davis?
Well, this is real complicated and real deep, sweet science stuff. Don't get caught. That would be a good place to start in this fight, because it really is a kind of fight where Garcia can't afford to make a mistake. There's no margin for error, because you're in there with such a devastating puncher. So how does he do that? How does he not get caught? Well, we touched on it with the opening. Geography. Own the proper geography in the ring that makes sense for you with your skill set against the shorter guy that wants to get close. You want to be outside. Keep separation. So it starts with distance. I'm Garcia, obviously. You're Tank Davis, southpaw. And having the right range, right separation, where you can get full length on the jab. And then it starts with something pretty basic and traditional, at least in my world, where you want to keep your lead left foot, as the orthodox fighter, outside the lead right foot of the southpaw. Why? Good question. Well, for defensive reasons. So you stay away from his power punch. You recognize his left hand, he does a lot of damage with that left hand, does Davis, if you allow him into the range that he can do that damage. So you step to your left away from the left hand. And you also open yourself offensively. Not only defensively, where you're away from the left hand, but offensively, where you have a better angle for your jab. Much better angle. And a cleaner angle. So that's the first thing, defense. And setting up safe offense. Now, the second thing you can do that I recognize from doing my work, my homework, and watching a video, is that when you throw the jab at Tank Davis, who's very responsible defensively. See, that's the thing that makes this so difficult to fight for both guys, but in particular for Ryan Garcia. He's not just a banger, but Davis is a complete fighter. He's responsible defensively. He can fight outside, inside. He can set traps. For the most part, he's going to want to come and get you. So what you want to do here is, you noticed, hopefully you did your homework, as I did, and you notice when you throw the jab at him, he blocks. He blocks with his lead right hand. So what you do is, you want full extension, right? You use that jab. You pop! Gotcha. You get his hand to move, you fake with the jab, and you hook off it. Or you just turn it into a hook. Boom, boom, right there. Pop, pop. Just snap it right there. Pop, pop. get his hand to come away from his face a little, from his jaw a little bit, go away from home, nobody's home, boom, crash in that door. So you got two basic ideas of how to disarm the bomber. If he does that, well, Ryan Garcia can really be true to his moniker, to his nickname, King Ryan. He'll get a chance to sit on the throne. You know about that. This man sits on the throne. He's on the throne, the marathon throne, for the Masters class.
All right, Teddy, we talked about what Ryan Garcia can do to win. What can Tank Davis do to win this fight?
Catch him on the potato. You know, and it really comes down to how is he going to catch him? Well, we talked about it again in the opening. Geography, very important in all fights, but particularly in this fight because their physical assets, their physical structure is so different. You know, you have Garcia who's longer, taller, bigger. I'm a little concerned about if Garcia can make the weight probably because he's younger and bigger. I don't know if he can come down to 136 and make that weight, but that'll play out in a fight, possibly. But Davis, for him, he's got to figure out a way to get close enough to the longer guy to catch him. And there's two ways to do it in my book. One is the traditional way. Go get him. Work your way in, but do it appropriately. Do it the right way. So we'll touch on that first. And I think I've picked up things on film where he can get in maybe a little closer and a little quicker than Garcia would anticipate him to. So let's do that. You're going to be Ryan. I'm going to be the southpaw. Get into my lefty stance. I've noticed that, first of all, Davis is going to have to make up some ground here. And Ryan's going to want to make him pay for real estate on his way in. So the trick is, how do I, being Tank Davis right now, get close enough to put my fist on his chin? Well, I noticed that Ryan keeps a little too much weight on his back foot. A little too much. Look, it hasn't bothered him tremendously, but he hasn't been at this level yet. Now, it could bother him a little bit. Where does that come into play? Well, for me, he could be a little slow getting out. And he likes to control range, and he's going to have to get out and keep that distance at the right time, at the right distance, before Tank gets into his punching range, into that danger zone for Ryan. So if that slows him down just a little bit, that's all we need in boxing. Split seconds. Millimeters of seconds. That's all you need. You don't need a minute. You need, it's over. So Tank is better than people think. Technically, he's really solid. And he doesn't too often reach. Not too often. Once in a while. But he knows how to inch his way in. That's what he's got to do. He's got to nice and quiet. Inch his way closer. Don't start from too far away. And get Ryan to step out, which he will, but get him to step out a little late, a little slow, and from a little too close. Now, Ryan has the advantage, Ken, of quicker hands, but you know where Tank has the advantage? Quicker feet. He's got fast feet. A lot of people, I don't think that they've really calculated that, where he can get in quick. So what I see for Tank here is get him to go back. Notice that he might be a little slow. Get him to go back, inch away. Don't start from two, inch away, and then give him a little feint. Get him to go back. And we go, bang! Go right with him. He goes back a little slow, from too close. Explode in with those quick feet. Again, so he's out of here. Get it close. You don't want to start from too far away. Inch his way in. He's going to be cautious. He's going to be contained. Everything. Give him a little feint, and then we go, bang! Drop him right in. Again, get a little close, give him a little feint, boom, go right with him. As soon as I feint, you go back. Give him a little feint, boom, go right with him. Explode in with the power shot, the left hand. If you can do that, Good night, Irene. Sweet Irene, I think it's the saying, the proper saying, but unfortunately, this might be good night, sweet Ryan. Okay, now, I try to give you two different things for each fighter, and I said I want to be true to my word. I said that there's two ways that Tank Davis can get close enough to put the fist on this nice little chin here, strong chin. And we showed the one way goes forward. Let's show the other way. To get the taller fighter to give up his height, to get him to cooperate, even though he doesn't mean to cooperate, to be a co-conspirator to his own demise, to invite him in. Kind of like a little bit like a spider does a beetle. Along those lines, it's the same thing, where a spider says, come on, beetle, come on in. Come on, no problem. You ain't going out though. You're gonna get stuck in that gooey stuff. So, what I believe that Davis can do from a southpaw position, he's pretty good at it, setting traps, where he can give a little ground and get Ryan Garcia to be overconfident. Get him to be a little reckless. Get him to come close so you don't have to go look for him. So what he does is give up a little bit of ground, a little bit, get him to come in, let him think that he's got an advantage. He's got him going where he wants him to go. But in reality, I got him going where I want him to go. Bring him in, and then he's going to shoot. He's going to shoot those punches. Boom, boom, bang! Counter with the left hand. Try it again. Hopefully you can see the left hand on this side. So if you throw him in, he goes, bang! Counter with the left hand, and then even step to the side a little bit. So you're clear of it, bang! You get another shot. So again, back, boom! Counter. A little bit back, he comes in, he misses the left, right, a little slip, boom! The power shot. The left hand. It's better than Sominex, you know, that stuff that some people take for sleeping disorders. This works. The only problem is you don't wake up as fresh in the morning. You wake up with a little soreness. But not you.
Nope.
Not you. You got those legs.
All right, Teddy, for the people at MyBookie, our friends over at MyBookie, check them out at mybookie.ag. Use the promo code ATLAS for a 50% credit on your first deposit. I think there's going to be a lot of action on this fight. It's a hotly anticipated fight. So the line is minus 230 on Tank Davis, pretty big favorite, plus 180 on Ryan Garcia. Who do you like and why?
I see the line. I mean, it's the appropriate line probably because the experience is a big part of the equation always. And quite frankly, Davis is the more experienced guy. He's a little older, but he's a more experienced guy. And he's been in with the better competition. He's been on this stage more than Ryan has. So that's a big part of it. Will Ryan handle, at this point in his career, this young point in his career, this kind of moment, with this kind of caliber of opponent? So I'm not laying that much wood. I just don't want to lay that much. I might take a small bet on Ryan, the dog, because they're giving you a reason to take a plunge there. So I take maybe a small play there. And then the under-over?
Over-under, 7.5 rounds, minus 130 on the under, plus 110 on the over.
That's where I might invest a little more. Usually these guys get it right. Maybe they got this one wrong. They're looking for you to go under.
Yep.
You know, because of the explosive ability of both guys. The left hook of Garcia can bang, and of course we know that Tank Davis can bang. And he can bang with either hand. He likes to use the left from the southpaw position, but he can bang with either hand and get guys out of there. I'm going to go with the over. I'm going to give Garcia credit. I'm going to say, hey, he could catch Tank early too. It's not a one-way street here. But I'm going to give him credit and say that he's going to fight it. He's got enough of him and Goose and his new trainer for the last few fights have figured out the right, appropriate fight plan. They better have, where he will also be able to be disciplined throughout the whole night, because it's a fight where, as I said earlier, he's got to be consistent. There's no lapses. You can't have a mental lapse. You have a mental lapse, you wake up in the locker room. So I'm going to say that, especially early, for the first, 7.5 rounds, you said? 7.5 rounds, that Garcia can keep that discipline, keep that focus, and control the range, not allow Davis to get close enough to him. If anything happens, I'm gonna go and put a bet that it'll happen after that, after 7.5.
There you have it. MyBookie.ag, use the promo code Atlas. Good luck to everyone, and we'll be with you when the fight is over to break down all the action. Good luck. Well, Teddy, hope both of the fighters get to see this along with their trainers to understand all the nuances, at least the things that you're seeing. But for the people at home, if you want to learn more about the sweet science, go to dynamicstriking.com and look for the Teddy Atlas tutorial series. There's what do you got, 15 videos now?
It's up a little bit from there. We've got altogether 18. Now we started with 15, old school baby, 15 rounds, 15 videos. We cover everything. And now we're at 18 and about to make it 19, as we're going to do our first one ever targeted just to the MMA audience for striking.
And well, to the MMA fighters out there, hopefully you're watching and listening and understanding that there's a lot more to the striking game than meets the eye. And Teddy's the man to teach you. Dynamicstriking.com, Teddy Atlas tutorial series. Thanks, Teddy.
Pleasure.